Hey, folks, welcome back to Indaba Africa. This is Chris on the Indaba channel, part of the Indaba Broadcasting Network. We're a lot of Indaba in there. Welcome back on a lovely Saturday, the 6th of February, 2021. A little bit of technical problems again. That's 2 days in a row. The technical bug has bitten us. We overcame yesterday. That's what we did yesterday. And today, same sort of thing. But in my haste to get things sorted, we were having a little trouble with the audio on Manie's side. I meant to play Sight Vest. That was Sight Africa. So I meant to play Sight Vest because I've heard from a little birdie that Manie Jackson is a fan. He likes Giselle's song, Sight Vest. Anyway, folks, with no further ado, here's my special feature guest today on this Saturday. Manie Jackson, South Africa's Afrikaans, country, oldies, pop singer. There he is. Manie, welcome to the channel. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you very much for putting me on your channel. We've been talking, I think, 2 months now of doing this, and eventually we did it.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, a part of it, let's be fair for all of those who are really excited about you coming on the channel, because I've been talking about it for a while now. It was the holiday season, lots going on, plenty of things. So you were pretty busy, and this is a good time to do it now. We're into the new year, and
yeah, we're struggling again this weekend, the whole weekend, with load shedding in South Africa, and our electricity went off from 11 until 3 o'clock. So I was just nipping and praying that it doesn't affect anything here today. I must just before we start, I must just tell the people, my great grandfather was born in Scotland. They came to South Africa when he was 3 years old, and he married a Boere meisie, and that's why I'm an Afrikaans speaking Jackson. And I grew up in Pietermaritzburg, which is very English, and I went to an English creche as a child, and I could speak fluently English. And then I went to Wolmaranstad, which is Wes-Transvaal, and the Boere nasie. And if you talk English there or speak English there, they would hit you. Yeah. So if I struggle with my English, please bear with me. The English people here, I can throw in an Afrikaans word, they will understand it. But for those who can't understand any Afrikaans, just bear with me.
Well, you know, it's interesting because folks far and wide are familiar with your music. You probably know this, but some of the audience might not. For instance, when I look up your songs for MP3, one of the first Google results is Amazon.de, which of course is Amazon Germany. So your music sells in Germany, which is not a big surprise. A number of Afrikaans performers are popular in Germany. Nadine Hofeld, Giselle is also popular in Germany, but still it just shows the breadth of your music. Of course, lots of people around the world listen to it that are expats, but that's a different story.
Yeah, a lot of my songs are German melodies. I can't understand German, so I write my own lyrics on the music. So it's not a direct translation. It's a new story to existing German melody, and I love German music. It's very, I think, it's very close to Afrikaans. I think the Germans and Afrikaans people got the same taste in music.
No, I would agree. And then the languages aren't that far apart. I mean, if you, and this is how I started learning Afrikaans, because I'm fluent in German. It's my second language. So English and German. And then, of course, the Dutch roots of Afrikaans, it's kind of slides somewhere in the middle. Of course, I have to be honest, reading it and understanding it are one thing. Speaking it's quite another. Because the way you guys pronounce G's, that's tough.
Yeah, I've got a recording of Jim Reeves. I've got a whole LP of Jim Reeves recording in Afrikaans. The LP's name is Kimberly Jim, and he made the recordings in South Africa when he came to South Africa, I think in 1963, just before he passed away. And he made a movie as well called Kimberly Jim.
Yeah.
And one of the songs he sings is Moet ek gaan, moet ek gaan. He sings Moet ek gaan, moet ek gaan.
Yeah, I'm forever being accused of speaking Afrikaans like a German, which is funny because I'm an American.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, although a lot of my music come from Germany and Holland, Netherlands, that's the correct, yeah. My biggest hit is a song called Die Hemel Weet,
Yep.
which means in English, heaven knows, and it's a American country song. Uh, it's not, but it's by accident a song of Alan Jackson called Between the Devil and Me.
Yep.
And it wasn't because the Jackson thing. I just heard this song and I loved the melody so much. And I thought of singing it in English, but the lyrics is the gates of hell swang open wide, invite me to step inside. She's all I see between the devil and me. So I thought, oh goodness, the Afrikaans people are very conservative. They're going to think I'm a Satanist or something, singing about the devil and hell. So I wrote a story about that. And that's my biggest song is a song. Manie Jackson's biggest song is a song from Alan Jackson.
Yeah, come on, be honest here. It was all the Jackson connection. It was the Jackson 2. That's what it was. That's
but then I could have tried Michael Jackson.
Well, then it would have been the Jackson 3. A couple more, we got the Jackson 5. I think Tito and Jermaine are still available if you want to get them to join the group.
Oh, well, we can do it. We can do it. But yeah, I'm one of five. I'm the youngest of five sons.
Okay.
So we've got our own Jackson 5.
There you go. Well, there's folks, if you're in the chat and if you've got a question you'd like to get up, I'll do my best to answer it. But if you do a super chat, you definitely get our attention. But someone said a few moments ago that I heard he's a really nice guy talking about you. Well, I've only known Manie for a couple of months, and I can say that in a couple of months I've known him, the guy really is a nice oak. I've really enjoyed chatting with him. He and I have talked an awful lot about music, and he has an amazing music collection. He is a music aficionado, and I can verify, in fact, he is. But let me cover a little bit of ground about some things. As I said, a little birdie told me that you heard Sight Vest from Giselle, and you were hunting all over. Where did that song come from? That's
yes, I've done a show of her in Swakopmund in Namibia.
Yep.
And I've already known her husband from South Africa, but then I met her, and she sang that song, and as a child, when I was 5 years old, and before it was Namibia, when it was still Zuidwest Africa, the German guy Heino did a lot of songs about Zuidwest, and I've listened to a lot of those albums. And I was 5 years old in 1985 when we went to Zuidwest Africa, and so that's memories of a childhood. And then it became Namibia, and some of my best shows, we toured in 2012 through the whole Namibia, just up to Rundu. And the lady that she was my house lady. She lived with me when I'm on tour. She looks after the house, and she cooked for me in the night when I was single and stuff. She comes from Walvis Bay. And when I heard that song, it just touched my heart. And I thought, why isn't there a song like this about South Africa? And I actually contacted Giselle and I asked her, please send me the link to your music video. And immediately when I came home, I showed it to the auntie that lived at my house, and she started crying like a baby because she was lost in Namibia in 1992 when her mother passed away, and she's now 62. So it brought back so many memories for her, and I was crying with her. Yeah, and I don't even have that memories that she had.
Yeah, no, it's a very emotionally evocative song.
But the Namibian people they are awesome people. They are kind of their own. They're just it is in a different country, but it's just like you're at home. It's just much better.
No, I've been there many times. It's a fascinating, wonderful place. And for me, it's really great because I can speak English, German, Afrikaans all over the place. So people understand.
Lucky you. I can speak Afrikaans. I can help myself with English, and I can say Dumela
There you
or
go.
Sawubona,
Okay.
usapila na.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
bohingi isapila.
well,
That's about all.
but you've got the greetings, but you said Dumelo. If I'd respond, what's the Healy John?
Dumela is Sutu. Sawubona is Zulu.
Well, Dumelo is
But
also
that's about
it's also Tswana, or in Botswana, Setswana. So
Tswana. Yeah.
yeah. So Dumela, and then of course you'd say what's Healy John? Kitsi Healy said. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
so I want to say is that she also not to spend all this isn't the Giselle hour. We'll get Giselle back on the channel, but since we're talking about
I love
NVIDIA,
Giselle, sir.
she's amazing. She's amazing. I had her on the show. Last year when lockdown started, she was supposed to premiere her first, because she's done a country album in English. She was supposed to premiere her first Afrikaans album, Für uns Mensa. And lockdown came, and she had a tour of South Africa, Namibia, and the U.S. And when they came, she and Johan were, what do we do? And he decided to be one of the pioneers of doing the concert live online. And so I only had, I think, 187 subscribers at the time in early May of last year. He asked me in April, he said, would you mind streaming our concert? And I'm like, listen, I have a really small audience. No, it's fine. We're streaming on other places. Would you do it? And I said, yeah. So we had like 32, 34 people tune in for the program. But since then, it's about 5,000 or 10,000 have watched it. But she debuted her album, Für uns Mensa, for an hour. It was unbelievable. The way it was all orchestrated, the background, everything. It's fantastic. And because of that, I felt inspired, and I thought, well, you know what? Because of lockdown, artists can't perform, which is where they make a lot of their money. It's not really from selling the music; it's from concerts. Maybe I can help artists out by getting them on, giving them interviews. And since my affinity for Afrikaans, I'll try that. And I've had a few artists on, but it hasn't gone quite the way I'd hoped. I'd hope that once you get your foot in the door with a few artists, and I hope that after I'd done Steve Hofmeyer, the doors would just come wide open. But I had Steve on; it was fantastic, and I'm kind of contacting our artists since like crickets. So yeah. So it's tough times for performers, whether they're sports performers or actors or musicians. Tough stuff. But recently,
a lot of the artists doesn't do their own Facebook and stuff, so they got a office doing it for them. And that's why I prefer doing my own Facebook. I've got more than 100,000 followers on my fan page, and then I've got 3 other pages as well, which is 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So you're talking about 120,000 people on my Facebook, and I read every comment.
Wow.
Sometimes there's when I did my previous online show Sunday, there was 6,400 comments, and I read every one of them. I can't answer every one of them, and that's why when you contacted me, because I do my own thing, I don't have an office doing it for me. I could have answered you, because sometimes the artist doesn't even know that they've been contacted by somebody.
No, absolutely. In fact, in the case of Steve Hofmeyer, his agent is who I contacted him through, and she got the message to him within 48 hours, and within 2 hours of getting it, he's like, "Yep, I'll be happy to go in the Colonel's program," because he served the SAD. He served the SAD up, so he was saluting me.
if it's fine with you, I've got a lot of South African friends, artists, friends that I can contact and hear if they are interested in your show. I know a lot of the legends, especially the country legends, went to America. There was a time, especially in the 80s, when the CMA would invite South African country music artists to go and perform on the CMA festival, and to represent South Africa. And basically all the legends I know who are still alive was there. And the one guy, his name is Clive Bruce. His stepmother was also a huge South African singer, and Clive went to Nashville and he sang this stem in the Grand Ole Opry. It was empty, of course, there was no people, but he started singing. Uit die blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons see. And the guy, but he's English. Clive Bruce is English, but he can speak Afrikaans.
Yep.
The guy, the cleaning guy, it's not a generator. It's a
Janitor.
yes, that guy. He came to Clive. He tapped me on his shoulder and he said, "You know what? That sounds like a great country song. If I just could understand the words." And so he sang the national anthem of South Africa in the Grand Ole Opry, but like Tommy Dale and Sally Vaughan, a lot of the people I know that legends went to South Africa. And I sent you the other day a song that Tommy Dale was huge in South Africa. He wrote that song, White Line to Denver, in America while he was there. A beautiful song. I always thought when I heard that song that somebody like Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, or somebody like that should have heard that song and recorded that song.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a comment here from Chris Redlingshuis. Says, "Wir könnten nur sagen, wir lieben Südwest." That means we can't help but say we love Southwest. People love it's Namibia is wonderful. Now, one more thing about Namibia, then we'll move on and talk more about your music. Is that recently Giselle recorded a song, and this is Namibia, South Africa, and of course he's Namibian, but he's well known in South Africa. But she did a tribute to Jan Spies. It was quite an interesting song. I don't know if you've come across that yet. It's just coming out now.
I haven't heard the song yet. I will ask her to send it to me.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Okay, because Jan Spies is also part of South Africa's history.
Cultural landscape.
Yeah, he was a storyteller and he was a professor in Afrikaans, but he had this most weird pronouncing of Afrikaans. He talked like that. Ja, maat. I never met him. He passed away when I was, I think, 13 years old. I think in 1993, but I grew up with his stories, and that created storytelling because the Afrikaners are also they are storytellers.
Yeah.
We've got Tola van der Merwe. We've got a lot of storytellers that they don't. If you say they are comedians, they tell jokes. They get cross with you because they are not comedians. They are storytellers. But they tell the story, they color it in with everything to make it funny.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole story is not funny, but the way they tell it is funny.
No, absolutely.
That's the difference between a comedian and a storyteller.
No, I absolutely got you. It's interesting. That's why I just want to mention that because that's one more piece on Namibia. But so your music, you've been singing your entire life. Did you start like in a choir? I mean, I sang in a choir, but then puberty hit and that was the end of my singing.
Not at all. My father played piano. His sister played piano. My father and his two sisters used to sing in the church, and his brothers played guitar. Mm-hmm. My mother's side of the family, they are preachers. Mm-hmm. And they used to write poetry. And I think the mix between the two of them, I wrote lyrics and I can sing. I never sing in a choir. I've never done anything. I've got no singing lessons. I was 5 years old when I said I want to be a singer. One day I want to be a singer. I want to be a preacher and a singer. I want to be a farmer and a singer. I want to be a teacher and a singer. The singer was always there.
Okay.
And when I left school in 1997, and I got me a job with a courier company just to pay my first sound system. And I started doing talent competitions, and I've done one, not much. Second one, I've got into the finals, and the third one, I've won a first, a second, and a third prize in different categories. And so I took that money and made my own CD in 1998. I was 18 years old, and local radio station started playing it. But I sang in pubs for free. And when the Oak wants to book me again, then I will charge something like 100 or 200 rand, which is nothing in dollars.
Yeah.
And I kept myself, I didn't have any day job ever again. I've kept myself busy in pubs for 300, 500 rand a night from Tuesdays till Sundays, and for 12 years. And then the singer slash producer, Dennis East, he decided, because I've done all the legends, I've done the pre-shows and I've done their sound. I was jack of all trades. I was even a DJ on weddings and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he decided in 2009, I've struggled enough. I've paid my dues. So he recorded the song "Die Hemel Weet," mm-hmm. and a German song which I also wrote Afrikaans lyrics. The German song's name is "Unamen der Liebe, Brunner en Brunner." And I've wrote it in Afrikaans, "Kom laat my weer lewe." He recorded those two songs and he sent it to Select Music, which is the biggest record company in South Africa. Mm-hmm. It now belongs to Sony Music. And they gave me a contract immediately. I was just turning 30 years of age, and the public immediately, for some reason, I don't know, they loved the song "Die Hemel Weet," and the album went gold in 3 months and platinum in 7 months. Wow. So that's something that doesn't happen. You must be lucky, and it's more easier if you've got the looks and the muscles and the stuff. I didn't get the looks and the muscles and the stuff. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the South African public supporting me, and all my albums. I've done 9 studio albums, and 8 of them went gold, platinum, triple gold, or double platinum. So wow. I'm very grateful.
Well, timing's everything, Manie. I've missed the boat because I'm happily willing to pay you 1,000 rand to do a concert on my program.
Can we make it $1,000?
I'm gonna.
That would be much better.
I'm gonna need a slightly larger subscriber base and a few super chats. Speaking of super, how about some likes on this, guys? Let's get some likes. Smash that like button. Yeah. Okay. So timing's everything. I'm a little slow.
I've went to Namibia quite a lot, and last year, 2020, I was scheduled to do 17 shows through Namibia in 18 days. Ooh. So we would have go up way to Rundu. We would have worked really, really hard, but I was also scheduled to do 2 shows in North Carolina in America. Wow. In the USA.
Yeah.
It was, I've dreamed about that because they paid my flight ticket, and
sure.
They gave me a week's living space. Mm-hmm. So it would have been so amazing. We planned already to go to Nashville and to Dollywood. I was hoping to see all of Dolly, everything of her, and I was planning on going to Graceland because I'm a huge Elvis fan, and then just lockdown came and everything was just stopped. But I've been to New Zealand. I've done 2 shows there, and the public they supported me there. There was I did a show mostly for Afrikaners. So I did it in Afrikaans, but there was a translator. Everything I said, they would have, the people that don't understand Afrikaans, they had earphones in, and the translator translated it into English. All I told the people is, if you don't understand what I'm saying, if the people are laughing, the joke is funny. If the people are crying, the song is sad.
There you go. There you go. That's so. It's like the United Nations are sitting there with their earpieces on. Uh, now, I got a little secret for you. That's something you might find interesting. I don't think you know this about me, but when I was a child, my father was a general contractor. We were moving back across the country from the West Coast, from Los Angeles, and we moved to Memphis. And my father worked for Elvis Presley. So as a small child, guess what I got to do? I ran around Graceland. I met Elvis.
Wow, 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 wow. My daughter, it's today is my daughter's 17th birthday.
Well, happy birthday to
And
her. And we'll get a birthday cake
uh,
up here on the screen. Go ahead.
it's already eaten. You see, it's now about yeah, it's 6:30 here. But uh, the about my daughter's grandmother.
Yes.
I used to grow up with music of Elvis, like his rock and roll stuff,
Hmm.
and that it didn't took me.
It's not. It's
I
not your.
wasn't.
It's not your
Nah,
thing.
nah. I liked it, but and
But what about
she
his gospel?
his gospel I grew up with, but we were all under uh, the false rumors about the drug abuse,
Mm.
because in South Africa, uh, drugs are cocaine and
Yeah.
crystal meth. So actually, when I read up and did a little bit of research, I found out that Elvis had an autoimmune disease, and
Okay.
he took a lot of prescription drugs for that. My wife also has several autoimmune diseases, and she drinks 19 uh, pills a day.
Oh goodness.
So that is why Elvis, when they said he died of overdose of drugs, it was kind of, why is this singing gospel? He's in hell. My mother's family was preachers, so it
Uh,
was a no no. And then my daughter's grandma uh, introduced me to his country music, and the music after Suspicious Minds, after
oh.
68.
Oh.
And that is the most beautiful songs and I've showed her, because they came to my house today. It's the first time in 17 years that me and my ex-wife was on my daughter's birthday, the same day, together.
Oh wow.
My wife invited her and her family. So
Uh-huh.
I showed her Elvis's last TV show, 23rd of June, 1977. And his voice was something on that show. His voice, it was as if he gave his everything. And
No.
that's the kind of music of Elvis I love.
Yeah, no, his heart and his entire soul were in that music was amazing. Yeah, he was so talented, and I used to joke with people that when I knew Elvis, he was the already large, overweight Elvis, but no, he was.
Yeah.
He was actually still the fit guy when I was in the '60s. Yeah, it was amazing stuff.
But I've spoken to a lot of people about this, because when my wife saw his last performance, everybody said, yeah, he's fat, overweight. She immediately told me, that guy, that is not fat, that is swelling.
Yeah,
And that's why I started researching Elvis and saw that he had autoimmune disease, which probably he used cortisone,
right.
and
Cortisone. Yeah.
that might make swelling. They call it for the autoimmune disease people oval face.
Yeah.
And if I look at myself, I'm now 41.
Hmm.
Elvis was 42 when he passed away.
Yep.
I don't look the same as when I was 20.
No, well, that's just
Your
nature.
body changed.
Yes, it does.
Your body changed. Steve Hofmeyer, when he became a superstar in South Africa in 1988, 87, he was actually first an actor, and then he became a singer.
Yeah, he was skinny.
And he was skinny, and now he's 55. He's not skinny anymore, but your body changed. You can't. There's only a few people that can say I still wear the same pants as when I was 20.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm a size up.
Yeah. That's
But
good. I like
I'm a
that.
size up. But it's your body changes.
Yeah. No, it's
Even if
just
you still
time.
wear the same
Your,
size,
yeah.
your body
Your
changes.
metabolism slows down. Things get more difficult to
And
do. It
Elvis
catches up.
wore a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
It's not like a jean and shirts going over the jean like today.
Yeah.
The jumpsuit shows
It shows
the
the whole.
rounding.
It shows the spare. It shows the spare tire.
Yeah, but I
Folks.
didn't think it looked bad.
No. He still could sing till his death. He died prematurely. A lot of people say they know exactly what they were doing when Kennedy died or when this happened. There's three events in my life that I'll never forget exactly what I was doing. That's 9/11. That's when the Challenger blew up in 1986. I know exactly what I was doing. And when Elvis died, I know exactly what I was doing. I'll never forget those moments.
When Elvis died, I wasn't born.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was born 2 years later.
Let's not be sharing that information because you make me feel.
Now that you talk about 911, I wrote a song.
Mm-hmm.
It was released a month later after 911.
Mm-hmm.
But about the song's name is "A Prayer for America."
Okay.
And I can sing a little bit. What I can remember. So, Lord, we pray for America. And Lord, we pray for everyone who has lost a friend. Da-da-da-da. I've composed and wrote the lyrics of that song. I will send it to you.
Oh, okay.
It was just a very, very young Manie Jackson. I was 21 years old and I even translated it in Afrikaans. So, Here, ons bid vir Amerika. En Here, ons bid ook vir elke een wat de naaste afstaan aan die dood. So yeah, I did a song for 911.
That's amazing.
But it never got because I wasn't at the radio company at that stage, and nothing happened to the song.
No, language is funny because you keep saying 911, and of course on this side of the Atlantic, when we hear 911, we think emergency phone call, call fireman, call. Yeah. So we say 911, but I was just because how people use the language. Folks, you're listening to Chris Wyatt Africa on the Indaba Africa channel here, part of the Indaba Broadcasting Network, on a Saturday, the 6th of February, 2021. I want a refund. I want a rebate. Who stole 2020? The Grinch stole 2020. It's gone. I want my money back. But my special feature guest today is Manie Jackson. We're talking, and before we get any further, I do need to do this. We did get a couple super chats that came in. People are trying to start something here. So the first one was from Erica. She said, Chris, first donation towards a Manie Jackson and Giselle concert. Come on, folks, let's get this going. And then we just got another one just a moment ago, and that one was from Ronell Guns, who said, I second that, Erica. So anyone want a third or fourth, feel free to do it to help raise the funds so we can get a Manie Jackson, Giselle concert here on Chris Wyatt Africa.
on my Facebook fan page, the 14th of February on Valentine's Day, it will be at 1 o'clock in South Africa time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's the time there in the US of A, but I will do a Valentine's show.
6 a.m.
in the morning.
Yes, we're 7 hours behind you right now, but that's fine.
Okay.
Listen, if I can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to cover the biker rally against farm murders, and I can get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to cover Brockenfell and Senecal, I mean, I can be up at 6 o'clock to watch a concert.
Yeah, normally I keep the concert for 24 hours.
Yeah.
For people who missed it, because of one of our South African legends, Sally Vaughan. Mm-hmm. She was called Mama Country, and she went to Nashville twice for the country festival, the CMI festival, and she got standing ovation. 25,000 people in Nashville, Tennessee, and they wrote a beautiful letter, which I've got the video of our other country star reading the letter from the CMI of America, and she went for health reasons to her daughter in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, in 2019, and she that's why I held the show for 24 hours on the page, because she always said, "No, my boy, that's much too early for me to wake up in America. I'm not gonna. At that time, I'm still asleep." So
Fair
I've
enough.
kept it. And then she would phone me on WhatsApp from USA and tell me, "Listen, my boy, you got fat, hey? The girls ain't gonna like that." And I gained 14 kilos in the lockdown.
Woo!
And passed away on the 14th of October last year in Virginia
Hmm.
at her daughter's house. But she had a huge hit with her version of Dixieland,
Oh,
which
okay.
I recorded with her. Yeah.
I think it's fascinating when people get older, they tend to get cheekier. When they're young, they're cheeky, and when they're old, they're cheeky. When you're in the middle somewhere, you behave yourself mostly.
Actually, I must say, Sally was cheeky always.
She
As
was always cheeky. Okay.
one of I'm not going to say his name, but one of our he is our biggest Afrikaans music selling male artist. If you look behind me,
Uh huh.
he was a charmer, and Sally was quite overweight. And he went to her and he told her, and I'm talking about 1982, 83. He told her she's the most beautiful woman he has ever seen. She just told him to just get lost. You're lying. You can see I'm fat, eh? Yeah, she was cheeky all her life. That's why she was called Mama Country, because she was like a mama to every young artist.
Gotcha. Well, we've had another super chat from Gert Janssen from Rinsburg, who is also contributing to the Giselle and Manie Concert Fund. So we're off to a start on that. Thanks for that. There's some interest in that.
Seems to me and Giselle are going to meet each other halfway.
Okay. Okay.
If she still lives in Namibia.
No. She's in Pretoria.
Okay, then halfway is Joburg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now
Exactly.
we can do that.
Yeah.
I go to Pretoria.
Well, speaking of which,
It's
Johan Eisel wrote the short. How far is it?
hour and a half drive.
Okay, to Pretoria. Okay,
Yeah, from me.
So
Just over the hill.
So you're not in Rustenburg. You're not in Polokwane. You're not in Benoni. You're not. I'm just trying to figure out where you're at.
Vereniging.
Oh, sure.
Park
Okay.
Sasolburg.
Okay,
So
in the Free State.
People pronounce it Vereniging.
Yeah.
Van der Bijlpark. It's still in Gauteng. I'm in the Free State.
Yes.
Between Van der Bijlpark and Sasolburg, in a little small town called Valpark.
Okay. Now the problem for me is because of the German pronunciation. I always say Vereniging.
The English people, yeah, Vereniging. Vereniging.
But
Vereniging is united.
yes, United. Yes. Yep. So there was a little bit ago, Johan Eisel wrote and said, Manie, Giselle is inviting you and your wife to a braai. And he said, ons moet queer.
Kuier. Yeah, we as South Africans are quite fond of kuier. We like kuier quite a lot. I'm just a little bit worried about Giselle's husband. He makes things disappear.
He does, and I tell you, he was offered a cabinet.
And I'm so scared he makes my wife disappear.
Well, no, but I don't know if you know this, but he was offered a ministerial position by the African National Congress because he made the Voortrekker monument disappear. So they offered him the tourism post, and then it reappeared. So they withdrew the offer.
Yeah, I wish you could make the whole government disappear.
Yeah. Take a number, Manie. There's a long line with that. My goodness.
We've got a job for Donald Trump in South Africa.
Yeah, we got a job for him here.
You don't need him anymore.
Oh,
if you don't need him anymore, we've got a job for him.
We need him.
I know you need him.
We all need him. And I'm not.
It was a sad day.
I'm not even a fan of Donald Trump. I just like his policies. But yeah, it's frustrating. So Kyle is asking a question. Says, has Manie written anything new? Well, you're a songwriter too. We haven't even gotten around to that. Wow, the hour is just zooming by here. You're also a songwriter. Have you been writing anything during lockdown?
My last album came out. My albums normally comes out just before Christmas. So it was released October 2019, and it was a biggest hit album with 3 new songs on it that I've written, all 3 of them. And then 2020 came and there's nothing. We didn't do anything. And I'm busy with compiling songs. The whole thing is our only music store it just announced they are closing down. So the only place you can buy CDs is gone now.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult. Most of my fans are I always joke and said my fans are between 45 and dead, with the most close to dead.
Actually, I have.
And
Go ahead, and then I'll tell you something news I got here for you. Go
I've
ahead.
got so older people doesn't know how to stream and how to do iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify. They don't understand that, and they don't want to learn it.
Yeah.
They want a CD.
Yeah.
So we are busy compiling a song for digital market, and then compiling songs for an album. I'm still going to release albums, so because on my shows, I normally sell a lot of CDs.
Well, when you say age 45 and above, I tried something different. I've never done this on the channel before. For this stream today, hoping to attract some other folks who don't necessarily get it, because YouTube has been kind of messing with my channel and not promoting my videos because I started covering politics here in the U.S. In fact, I discovered last night that I did an analysis of a video that was produced about claiming electoral fraud, in which I said some of it's nonsense, some of it there might be merit to. They removed my video and never even informed me and said I violated policies. So because of that, I had to be careful. But anyway, so I thought I'd try something new, and I actually paid for advertising on Facebook for this stream. I actually paid for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did. So I tried. It's a test, and I just want to let you know. So the one utility of it, other than the fact that they suck my money away, is that is that I can actually see where people were getting the ads and who actually responded to the ads. So to let you know, about 8% of the people who looked at the ad were age 18 to 24. Another 15% were 24 to 35 or 25 to 34, and then 9%. So about 40% of the audience was below the age of 45. Just so you know, they're not all they're not all 45 and over. And then here's the fascinating part too. Let me find this really quickly. So locations. Now you're gonna love this. Let me see. Here it is. You're going to recognize these places. These are where the impressions went. Now, I paid for ads in the U.S., UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Namibia. And so this is where the most people looked at it. I had over 800 people looked at this ad from the Comas region of Namibia, 419 from Erongo, 223 from Oshana, and then the closest one in South Africa was Gauteng with 168 impressions. So most of the people who watched the ad that I put up for this stream were from Namibia, and they were mostly young.
You know, I've done a show when I've signed my contract with Sony Select Music.
Yep.
The CD was released the 16th of August 2010, but 5 days before the release of the album, I already had stock, me as an artist, and I went to sing in Namibia for the first time. And they didn't know who I am, but of course there was a lot of other singers like Dozy and Freddie Nest and who were popular at that stage. So there was a lot of people in the crowd, and I made a mistake. I said, because I've got a song in South Africa, cry party koning, which means in South Africa, party is king. So I made a mistake and I said, I don't know if the people from Namibia can party, but in South Africa we can party. When I went off stage, there was a whole platter of Jägermeisters waiting for me, and I went to bed. That the next morning, I missed my flight back to South Africa. And that's how I met the Namibians. And I loved it. And those oaks, which was waiting for me backstage with that platter of Jägermeister, we are still friends 10 years later.
That's awesome. But I'm going to help you out. You're helping with my Afrikaans pronunciation, so I'm going to fix your German pronunciation. No such thing as Jägermeister. It's Jägermeister.
Yeah, we got a lot of other words we call it as well.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. But listen, I've got to send some greetings to you from one of my longtime loyal viewers named Tuns. And he says, please send you his regards to Manie. He was the barman at the German club. And he says, regards from Carol and Anton Mayberg as well.
Yeah, Anton Myburgh is one of South Africa's uh, lady singer's stepson. I also wrote for huge hits in South Africa. He wrote, I think, 3 songs for me. And German's Club is a place that I've done a lot of pub shows those days. I think they paid me a little bit more because they are situated in the better part, the richer part of Vanderbijl Park. I think they paid me 800 rand for the show. Yeah. I've sang there
800
Friday
Rand.
nights.
Listen, I'm sticking with the 1,000 Rand offer to do a concert in my program. I think that's generous.
Yeah, it's very, very, very generous. But I would, well, when I went to New Zealand, uh, I was paid in, I wasn't paid very much, but they also paid my flight and they gave me a week's accommodation. But I sold my CDs for $20.
Mhm.
That was nice because it's 10 rand a dollar in New Zealand. So I made a lot of money out of the CD sales.
No, that's awesome. No, and that's a big deal. I went to a Peter Frampton concert not all that long ago. He's going to stop performing because he's got a muscular issue, and so it was probably his last concert ever, last concert series ever, a couple years ago, and it was just amazing listening to Peter Frampton. I mean, remembering him as when I was a kid. Not that I was a huge fan of his music, but he had some great music, and the CD sales, the T-shirt sales, all of that makes a big difference. Of course, the CDs are easier to carry the CDs than it is carrying boxes
Yeah,
of T-shirts. But yeah, no,
yeah.
it's always a good way. So when I go to concerts, especially for an artist that is maybe not so well known, I usually buy the CD even if I don't want the CD, just because I know that helps. It makes a difference because the ticket sales get split in a bunch of different ways and not all to the artist.
I've got about. I'm a collector, like I told you. I've got about 7,000 LPs. I've got about 1,000 seven singles, about 1,000 cassettes, tapes, and I've got it's now close to 11,000 CDs.
Hmm.
And I still collect old hi-fis and even reel-to-reel machines, and I've
Wow.
got reel-to-reel tapes as well. I've got 8-track tapes. I love that kind of stuff to see where it started from and where it's going. I don't like the way where it's going because there's nothing physical on the download.
Yeah, no, it's
It's,
impersonal.
it's, it's a nice thing to get guests at my house and show them my collection of albums, CDs, and DVDs and LPs. But now I must start up my computer and show them my downloads. That's not.
Yeah, it's right here. It's inside here.
Yeah,
Look
it's
how
on my
lovely.
phone.
Yeah,
Listen. Yeah.
God. No,
No,
I'm with
no,
you.
no.
Jacket covers, album covers are just legendary. I mean, I think of
And if you have
Journey.
an
Yeah.
artist and the artist can sign it for you, I've got a book that is signed not to me but to one of our. He was the president of South African Country Music Association,
Hmm.
Matt Herter, and it's a book is about the history of the Grand Ole Opry, and it was signed to my friend Matt. Best wishes, Mary Reeves,
Oh, wow.
Jim Reeves' wife.
Yeah. I figured that's who that was.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it was 1977, and somebody organized it for him to be done, and he gave the book to me before he passed away.
Wow.
So that is something. I mean, I've got Jim. I don't have Jim Reeves' signature, but I got his wife's, and that's for me. It's something special. That I will always. I will. There will always be a CD somewhere. I think you can buy CDs in America still.
We can, yes, but you can buy them through Amazon if you want. That's how I usually get them. But you mentioned the closing of the remaining 59 Musica locations. I'm not, I won't say heartbroken, but I'm very disappointed. For me, a trip to South Africa always includes a trip to Exclusive, CNA, and then Musica, and used to be Look and Listen as well. Although I didn't like their
Look and
prices.
listen, yeah.
Yeah, but their prices weren't great. The Look and Listen at Menlyn was massive, though. It was an amazing collection there.
That is a
Um,
huge.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I've imported a lot of my music through Look and Listen.
Hmm.
A
Yeah.
lot of the stuff.
Now something really strange is going on here. Just don't worry about this. I'm just curious about this. But Dean Chancey, who's he sings as well. He's got this song where he sings about it ain't easy to kill a boar, which has become quite popular in South Africa. Dean's watching the program, and it's at 11:53 my time. We started at 11 o'clock. He says, "Does anyone think Manie's not going to show?" And then it says, "Chris is almost always on time." Are you like watching this an hour behind us, man? Because that was an hour ago, Dean. What's going on here? No, we had some for those who tune in late or just watching the program. When you get to the stage, we had some technical issues trying to get the audio to work on Manie's side, and so while
I must tell you,
yes,
for my own, it's the first time I've Zoomed in my whole life.
well, you're doing brilliant. A little bit of a rocky start, but I think you had some help. Thank goodness.
Yeah, my wife showed me some stuff, and when he said internet call, I was clicking on the little thing beneath, and nothing happened. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
So when I clicked on the internet call, then everything happened.
Everything happened. Yeah, but we were
5 minutes later.
Well, we were a little bit late, so Manie had trouble with that, and then I thought since I'd heard he was a fan of Sight Vest, I'd play Sight Vest to kill a few minutes while we got him on. And then I clicked on Sight Africa, which is a song she may record about South Africa and not Sight Vest. So it doesn't matter. But anyway, so that's how we started the program. But that's really weird. So Dean Chancey's chats are either coming in 50 minutes late or Dean is in a different timeline in a different dimension. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's kind of strange. We have not, Manie, even begun to talk about your music. My goodness. I'll just briefly, Donker Hart, Julia. Oh my God, I love that song. Nog net een keer, Mooiste Frau, Die Himmelwet. You've already mentioned that. Some amazing music. Fire Within Me. You sing in English, you sing in Afrikaans, you sing pop, you sing oldies. But I have to be honest here. I'm gonna let you know about something. I think the first time I ever saw you perform on video was I'd heard your music, but I'd never seen you, and it was one of the Corona finales. You were wearing this top that kind of looked like something an Indian would wear from India, and your hair with your trademark where your hair is kind of tousled up there. And
my hair is always like that.
But before you started singing, I'm like, who's this Indian guy? Does he sing in Afrikaans? Because the camera angle was bad. I thought you were Indian.
Okay. What song did I sing?
I can't remember. It was one of the Corona. When you did a medley with
I did 6 of the Corona stuff. The one I enjoyed the most, was when I did I think it was Corona 3, maybe 4, when I did the Neil Diamond medley.
Okay.
It was good. Darren starting off with I Am I Said, and I love singing I Am I Said. I do it on my shows. LA is fine. The sun shines most of the time. Lay back. It's just that whole cracky thing. Kurt started the I Am I Said, and then I did Song Blue. I did Beautiful Noise. I did Sweet Caroline. It was just the people were just loving it. That was one of my moments. And in South Africa we have a singer. She just retired last year. Terika Keesenkamp. She was born in Den Haag in Netherlands. But she came to South Africa when she was 5 years old, and she's like everybody loves her and everybody knows her, and she's like the most beautiful old person I've ever met in my whole world. She's now 73, and when I sang Unchained Melody, she was in the audience that day, and when I hit that last note, she stood up and gave me a standing ovation. That was one of the things that I will never ever forget.
No, that's amazing. It's my favorite is honestly is Corona 5. I love Corona 5. I thought it was amazing, and I like the finale. That's the best finale. The way that they orchestrated the songs and blended them together, they just really worked really well. But what's it like when you do Corona and you like get to sing with all these amazing, very attractive ladies? What's that like?
Before Corona, we had Skouspel, which was done by Huisgenoot. And I was single in those days, and then I sing with all these beautiful ladies. And I'm actually very shy, and then Nadine would dance around me and touching me on stage, and I would blush. And the one girl she was beautiful, Charlize Berg. She was just turned 90 or 20 years old, and I was about 31 then, She's so beautiful, but I was too scared to hold her hand, taking her up on stage. But you see, the whole thing about doing shows with other artists is you get to know the person behind the microphone, and sometimes that's a pity. Sometimes the personality that you see backstage takes the beauty away.
Ah, okay.
That's quite a pity. That's quite a pity.
No, but that happens. It's well, you know, it's interesting. I one of the people I wanted to interview very early on, I didn't get very far because I had a contact who said they could get me in touch, but didn't work out. And that's Liesl Peters. I mean, I absolutely love her song "Asamlos."
She's got a beautiful voice.
She has an amazing voice, and I think she has a good presence on stage too. I really enjoy watching Corona when she does those medleys. But "Asamlos" I love that song. Of course,
I've got a number for you if you want to talk to her in person.
Well, yes, I'll take you up on that offer. Absolutely. Yes. And maybe we can get someone to super chat and throw a few more rand in the pot there, so we can make it the Manie, Giselle, and Liesl concert.
Oh well, if we bring in my good friend Ray Dillon,
there you go.
We can start a new feedwerker, and I know I'm friends of so much of these artists, not all of them, but the nice ones, and we can start our own Corona.
Well, there you go. We'll just have to give it a different name rather than Corona. We'll figure
different name.
Yeah,
different name.
But
the Outcasts.
Yeah, okay. I think someone's tried that already, but we could try that. No, but
not Outlaws.
Yeah, no. That's a different. That's a country thing with Willie Nelson. I actually went to that. That was I went to that because oh gosh, who's the Irish singer? I'm drawing a blank now. Really old now, in his 70s. Fantastic guy, singer. All the great songs. Oh, geez, who is that guy? I'm drawing. I can't. Anyway, he was there, so I went to it. No. Oh gosh, you know his name. He's saying I'm drawing a blank on this real quick, but I want to catch him because he's still performing. He was fantastic. But Willie Nelson was there. I'm not a Willie Nelson fan, but it was called the Outlaws concert, and it was a huge concert in Hershey, Pennsylvania. But you talk about Feerwerke, Winter My Zeile. I love that song in the video. That's amazing. Those guys do a great job. It's brilliant. Now they're not recording it in that way anymore, are they? Was that just a short time, or they still do that occasionally?
Ray Dillon left the company, and Liesl Peters also left the company.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So the whole thing
fell apart.
As far as I know, that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that was
Ray Dillon and me are also not part of Corona anymore.
Right.
We've been replaced by younger and handsome muscle guys.
Muscle bound. Were you muscle bound? So is that like Dirk van der Westhuizen?
Yeah. He replaced Ray Dillon. I've been replaced as well. No, I'm not going to the gym.
Okay.
I don't like it. You get tired. I don't like anything that makes me tired.
Well, I empathize. I don't care for the gym myself. I do work. I work out though. I do it outside. I don't like gyms. To me, gyms are where people go to preen and show off what they've got or hide what they've got. And I don't need to work around other people.
That's why I don't go to gyms, because I'm still hiding what I've got because I got nothing.
Chad Blingno says, Chris, with so many Afrikaners on stage, if that concert came to fruition, it would be complete if they threw free Boerewors rolls off the stage into the audience. Ha 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 ha. That's not fun. We can throw packets of biltong at people. Amy Justine LaRue, welcome. Good to see you there. People are saying they didn't get a notification. Well, that's YouTube shadow banning me and not telling people about the program. Hence the reason I tried something different for this program. You know, another problem we're having is with audience in South Africa is the load shedding, Manie. I've lost several people here.
The load shedding.
The power went out and they popped up on their mobile, and then they lost their mobile too because the battery was low. It was almost flat. Crazy stuff.
But yeah, in South Africa, if you have load shedding, your signal also goes away. You're literally on edge if you're lucky.
Which is weird because, well, yeah, that's a power saving mode by the towers because they use less power if they're transmitting less data. But
Yeah.
I mean, most parts of the world, you have a backup generator system in all your mobile towers. It's just kind of how it works.
Those generators are probably stolen.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. In South Africa, they're probably stolen.
Our vaccines also got stolen.
Yes.
First, it got rotten. Yeah.
Well, that was the first. I did a video a few days ago, and I said, "Okay, great, congratulations." Cyril has told us that the vaccines have arrived, the first batch at OR Tembo. Who wants to take a bet on how quickly they will disappear and how much money we skimmed off the top?
It's one thing I love about living in this country.
Yes,
is it's always a little bit slower than the rest of the world. Yeah, so we will survive. We will survive.
Oh yeah, you'll survive. It's just a question of
the rest of the world will be gone, and we will still be here.
Well, I saw that movie 2012, and in movie 2012, the whole world was wiped out except South Africa. All the ships floated up to what was left. There was Africa after the big tidal waves in that movie 2012.
I told you.
So there you go. There you go. Hey, Erica asked a question. She said, would I be able to stream your Valentine's Day concert? I don't think so. That's Manie's business model. I don't think I can intrude in his business model. But she asked.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. You just go to the Manie Jackson Blood. Mm-hmm. It's the page. Okay. You like the page, and then you're on it. And I don't sell tickets. Okay. The people give donations. Because,
all right, well, then if you don't mind,
there is a lot of people that are struggling in South Africa. At this moment, and they can't. They really to give 20 rand is to give away a bread.
Yeah, it's
for those people. I also want to see. I want to see for those people as well.
Absolutely.
So I ask donations. Some of the people give more, and some of the people it's normally 100 rand, 50 rand.
Well, that's been my guiding principle with the channel, Manie, because this channel, a lot of people ask me to make memberships where they can be paying members to support the channel. And I never really set the channel up for financial gain. It was just to provide for folks. And I didn't understand why they wanted memberships. And then I started watching other channels and watched memberships. And I saw how people interacted. And I saw how, for a lot of people, the membership was kind of a way to be part of a larger family. And they liked it. So I created the memberships. But I made my membership so low. It's like $2 for the entry level. But in South Africa, that's 10 rand. And people are like, I'd like to join your channel, but I can't. And I'm like, don't. I mean, if you don't have money, if you don't have 10 rand, take care of your bills, take care of your family, feed your family first. Don't. You know, others who can afford to be generous are able to do so. They'll pick up the slack. So don't sweat that. But if you don't mind, then what I'll do is on Valentine's Day, I will stream your concert on my channel to promote it. Maybe we can get some more people over there.
Yes, and what we can do, if you must just send me the link of this chat, and I will put it on my Facebook as well.
Absolutely, we will do that.
And then they can all watch this, and hopefully they will subscribe on your YouTube channel.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, now that Dean Chancey is caught up by refreshing his chat, he was the one that was an hour behind. He's got a very good question, which is where I was headed, but I interrupted myself there. I ran through Donker Hart, Julia, Nog en Kia, Mooiste Frau, Die Himmelwet, Fire with Emmy. What is your favorite song? Do you have a favorite of the ones you've written or performed?
My favorite will always be Die Himmelwet, because that's the one that opened all the doors. Yeah, so that will always be a special place in my heart. But there's the song that I wrote, Kom laat my weer lewe, which is the German song in Namen der Liebe. Mm-hmm. That is the first song I've translated. Not translated, because in Namen der Liebe means in the name of love. Kom laat my weer lewe is something else. Mm-hmm. But that's the first German song that I've written Afrikaans lyrics for. It wasn't the first song that I wrote. The first song that I wrote was that song, Pray for America. I will send it to you. Okay. I must just get it from one of my old CDs. But Kom laat my weer lewe is very special to me. And then the one song, it's a Garth Brooks song that I wrote, Afrikaans lyrics. Mm-hmm. As ek jou net weer kon hê. And what is the English title of that Garth Brooks song? On a prayer, na 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 na. I can't remember. It's used in one of the movies. I think it's if I could only no, I can't remember the Gar Brooks song now, but I've written Afrikaans lyrics for that song, and of course the people, a lot of the people says if you take country music or US music or German music, and you wrote Afrikaans lyrics, you're stealing. Not at
No,
all.
no, no, not at
I've
all.
paid my royalties. The company has paid the royalties, and I sign a contract declining any royalties from the song.
Yeah.
So, so that's the way it works. You decline any royalties as songwriter on the album, on the song. So it's just uh, I've worked with a lot of South African uh, songwriters, and only a few of them could write a song that fits my market and my voice
Yeah, absolutely.
perfectly.
Absolutely. Well, it's I've asked a few questions here, and I just want to highlight those very quick. Oh, by the way, I remembered Van Morrison. That's who I couldn't remember. Van Morrison.
Oh, Van Morrison.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
brilliant. He came on the stage 73 years old, 72 years old, and he started the moment he was on time, unlike most of the performers at that concert. He was on time. He sang the entire time. He didn't sing Brown Eyed Girl though. I was so disappointed. I wanted to hear that, but he just it was but I'm a huge Van
Yeah.
Morrison fan. I've always been. The guy's voice is amazing. Kind of like your voice is distinctive, his voice is distinctive. But Van Morrison was the one I was thinking of. Now I was asked a question a moment ago by speaking of Bormaisi. You were talking about Bormaisi earlier. So U.S. Bormaisi wrote to me and she said, "How about Chris Wyatt streams it and we do super chats, which you can then donate to Manie's site." I have no problem with that, but what I'll do is when we stream his concert, if you want that, and then say for Manie. If you're super chatting, say for Manie, and as long as
Yeah,
Manie has like a PayPal or something like that, I'm happy to transfer that money there.
yeah. We normally work with Moby Paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's Blaze Bridges, the South African superstar. His daughter,
Mm-hmm.
her husband's got a company in the US of A. They are living in North Carolina. I told you about her. They do Moby Paid,
Mm-hmm.
and or I'll give my account number on the thing, and people can
Well, we can
pay the money.
we can
Yeah.
do that. What I can do is I can make a little banner and put it up on the stream so they can see it on my channel, and I can also put it in the description there. But the only way I can do it is if they do a super chat on my channel, like we just got another super chat from Beth Frazier, a $5 U.S. super chat for the concert idea with Manie and Giselle. So that's like the fourth concert, trying to raise funds to do this concert. So, but yeah, it's a concert vote. But yeah, so I can do it a couple of ways. Yeah, we'll sort that out. But Valentine's Day is going to be epic. I also have that day Wendy Alberts, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Restaurants Association of South Africa, because traditionally Valentine's Day is when restaurants make a lot of their money each year because everybody
Yeah, yeah.
takes their partner out for it. So she's going to be on the channel that day too. So we'll have a busy day that day. So but
The
you're going to be very
the
early, so it'll be easy for me.
we we can't really perform at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, there's no shows lined up. Just when we got out of the lockdown and started lining up shows, we just had to cancel everything again. So that's my income. My only income is performing, and I want to say unfortunately, but during the lockdown, I changed my mind to fortunately. I've done a lot for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Normal artists only do free charities per year. I did about one charity a month,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't pay off in your bank account. When you hit lockdown, you have no income.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say, the people were very generous, and I think that charity. They always say, "Yeah, one day you will get it back. If you do charity, you will get it back." And I never believed it
Mm-hmm.
until the lockdown started, and I saw the public how they supported the artists and said thank you for singing. It was the most horrible thing for me to sing for a camera. Nobody applauding, nobody laughing at my jokes. It was just something I wasn't used to, and then it became fun because I read the comments afterwards.
No,
So then I see, okay, the people liked it, or they laughed at that joke, or so yeah.
Well, there's
It's okay
there's
now.
a technique to it as well. I mean, if you have, we just got another super chat for the concert fund. Whoa, this is looking good here. Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. Thank you. This is from Nick Muller, German spelling, Nick Müller. So thank you, Nick, for this, the concert fund money there. But there's a technique to it, though, Manie. When you do these things, if you have a big screen that you can project up the chat, then you can kind of keep an eye on it when you're performing, and you can refer to these things when you take a pause there.
I said for the next show, for the Valentine's Day show, I think I must put a screen in front of me so I can see
exactly
the people's reaction.
Exactly.
But they mustn't take my focus away. I will read something and sing what I read.
Well, it's an art. I mean, you're an artist. It's an art. It's one you have to develop, and you get better over time. Absolutely. So I think that'd be pretty cool. But there was a couple other questions here. This one here was from Brett Sessoms. He's an American from Mississippi. He's a big African aficionado, and he loves South Africa. He says, who's your favorite country music artist?
Waylon Jennings. I'm a huge Waylon Jennings fan.
Okay.
I love people with strong voices, like Elvis Presley.
Yep.
And Elvis done a lot of country music as well.
Yep.
And there's a book that we import from USA with all the top 400 country artists of all time. And I think the last time I saw that book, Elvis was number 35 with Alan Jackson on number 34. Chris Christopherson was 393. So yeah, I love that book, reading that book and going through the stuff. But Waylon Jennings, if you exclude Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton.
Okay. Cool.
Dolly, the songwriting, the way she takes, if she does a cover song, she will take that song and change it so much that you barely recognize the song. It's not about the boobs. It's not about the big hair. It's about her writing talent and her way of carrying the message through.
Yeah.
The emotion and stuff. I especially love her music after 95, after 1980, when she started producing her own albums.
Yeah. Well,
the Jolenes and that stuff are
that's
too much.
Yeah. See, that's not my kind. That's kind of country music. My mother.
I've heard it too much in my life.
It's
the music.
Yeah, it's not my taste, that stuff, those early days. But I mean, I became a fan of Dolly when she sang "Islands in the Stream" with Kenny Rogers. It's one of my all time, Penny Lover by Lionel Richie and "Islands in the Stream" are two of my all time favorite songs. And that is just such a beautiful song. So and when they perform together, it is almost, you could almost look at them like they were a couple, because they were just they sing so well. They sing so really well.
And Dolly Parton's, somebody asked me the other day what was my favorite song of Dolly Parton. So I said, "Hello God." The song "Hello God," I think, especially in this times now, the lyrics are, "Hello God, are you still out there?" The free will you gave us, we made a mockery of. The lyrics are so beautiful written, and I'm one of that kind of guys. You can give me a song. I always said, ladies, they always said, just listen to this beautiful words of this song. If you want me to get beautiful words, write it down.
Yeah,
I will rather listen to a nice melody with not so much nice lyrics than listen to a song with beautiful lyrics with an awful melody. Um, if you want beautiful words, just write it down. If you want a beautiful melody, sing it to me.
There you go. So
And
Brett,
she writes. She's an awesome writer.
no, absolutely. It's no, Dolly's a legend. I've actually been not to Dollywood, but down right next to Dollywood. Went down that Gatlinburg, down there in the Great Smoky Mountains. It's a beautiful place. I was in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and went hiking there. It's wonderful. Brett Sessoms, the American, has sent a super chat and he says favorite. I think he's asking the crowd, not us, but favorite rock band. He says he likes Kiss. Mine is the Michael Stanley Band, which most people never heard of. They're from Ohio and they're just awesome. And then I don't know if you have a favorite rock band.
I don't listen to rock music very often. I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that my grandfather and uncles and cousins are all preachers. So I didn't grow up with that kind of music. But I think I'll Status Quo.
Yep.
I like Status Quo and Smokey, which is from the UK, and the Beach Boys, if you count that as rock. I don't know if it's I don't know where to place the Beach Boys.
Yeah, they're not really rock. They're not really pop. They're somewhere in there in between, I think. Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, they are all over the place.
Yeah, because cotton fields our country.
There you
it's
go.
Country, sir.
Well, listen, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping, and I can't keep you forever, although I'd love to. This is a Leka conversation. I'm really enjoying it, but we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. We'll go 10 more minutes if you can go with this. Can you stay 10 more minutes?
It's fine.
Okay, great.
Fine.
Okay, all right. But I do want to do some housekeeping here. Listen, this is very disappointing, ladies and gentlemen. 77 likes. Come on, push the like button. It doesn't cost a penny. You don't have to donate anything. Smash the like button, get it. And then I've also got to mention U.S. Bormaisie. Boy, I tell you, man, every time she comes on the chat, I always I promote farmersonly.com. So if you're looking for a lovely lady to link up with, farmersonly.com. Now, but U.S. Bormaisie just gave a $25 super chat, and she thanked me for promoting South Africa and its people. No, it's my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
I was so I couldn't believe that someone from the US. That's why I asked you from which country you are.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe that someone from the US are actually into Afrikaans music. And Afrikaans music, if the history of the music, it's always been quite either German, either country. We've got a huge hit everybody grew up with in South Africa, which is a Gene Autry song. Old faithful, we roam the range together. And we had a thing, die para begin op so met sy nooi en die vlei aham, which is also I think Gene Autry. The froggy went courting over here, aham, which was translations. And that's why I think country music, rock music, American gospel music, the folk music as well. Mm-hmm. The South Africans love that kind of music.
No,
because
absolutely.
They can relate to it.
But I think your bewilderment and puzzlement when I first contacted you, it actually gives me an in with people in South Africa, Afrikaans speaking South Africans especially, but not just Afrikaans, also Zulu and Xhosa speakers. When I reach out to them and I show that I have an interest and I'm an American, like, I must be from South Africa. He's just living in America. No, I'm not. I'm an American, but it is fascinating. We've got Dean Chancey here watching the program right now. He is a fascination. He lived in South Africa for a short period of time and is always had a great interest in it ever since. And got a couple more super chats I got to give acknowledgement to. Rhodesians Never Will Die. Lynn said, thank you, Chris. Awesome stream. Well, thank you for that. Brett gave another one. He said MTV has canceled its MTV Africa Music Awards due to the oppression of Bobby Wine. Wow, that's big news. Bobby Wine, the performer from Uganda, who ran for president against Yoweri Museveni. So they've canceled their awards because of that. That's shocking for a leftist-controlled media site like MTV that they would actually care. But that is good to hear. Dean Chancey says, will you please ask Manie if he writes most of his own songs? I asked a question about songwriter, but I didn't ask in that fashion. Do you write most of your songs, or do other people write them for you as well?
I don't. I normally write music because I can't write music, but I write lyrics, and then either we will get German or American songs, but one of my composers are Dennis East, which is also my producer and an artist and songwriter. On his own, he wrote a song for Glenn Campbell. In the 70s. He wrote a song for John Farnan from Australia on the same album as the You're the Voice song, which sold 2 million albums worldwide. He bought his house in Randburg cash with the royalty check, only for writing one song on that album. So he's a very great songwriter. And then I get people to write for me, which my company paid to do it. But I do lyrics, not music. I can't write music.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I have a view on this, and it's slightly different than one of my viewers just shared. Jede Vissa said that Afrikaans music took off like wildfire when they started oppressing Afrikaans. Now, I talk about cultural genocide of the language of Afrikaans, not talking plasmoord or anything like that, but I think there's definitely an effort to suppress the language. It's unfortunate. Most people who speak it as a first language aren't even white South Africans. They're actually colored South Africans, but it's unfortunate people try to oppress the language. But Jenny says that it took off like wildfire when they started oppressing it. I think there may be truth in that, but I've argued for the better part of the last 3 decades that when the apartheid state was dismantled, it was a cloak of oppression that affected all South Africans, not just black or colored or Indian, but also white South Africans. I mean, the reason Sun City existed was because the deep Dutch Reformed Church Calvinist attitude about drinking and alcohol and things like that is something you weren't supposed to do. So people fled off to Bophuthatswana and they went to Sun City. They could drink and party and have a good time and come back and still be a good person. But we had the bannings going on under apartheid. You didn't have free speech. People couldn't write the things they want. So most Afrikaans music back then was more of what we call in German Heimatlieder, like traditional songs. And so I remember listening to Afrikaans music back during apartheid, and there was a song I really remember. It always stuck with me because the lyrics were easy, like die mooiste zand is die Kaapse zand. Die diepste zee is die Zuid. Anyway, but that was kind of it. And then when apartheid ended, it opened up a veil, in my view, and I'm going to get your take on it, Manie. It removed that veil from so many people. I mean, you could never have a snotkop under apartheid. You would never have an artist like that. No, you'd never have it. And you would not have a lot of things you have today. So
your closest to snotkop in the apartheid era was Leon Schuster. He was rapping in Afrikaans.
That's true.
In the 80s. He did that stuff. The Afrikaans music, the whole thing, people don't always understand. I've been reading since I was 5 years old. I started collecting music and articles about singers. I've got books full of articles since 85, and I've got even before that that people gave me, and I've read about the stuff, and I've worked with producers, old school and new school. I've worked with artists, old school and new school. The English pop singers were the guys in the apartheid time that was actually I'm feeling sorry for them, because they wrote huge songs, and it couldn't go international because of the apartheid. Right. But the Afrikaans music, the whole thing about Afrikaans music in the old days was you had to have talent to make an LP. Then it was the end of apartheid, and they did reduce Afrikaans music on the SABC and stuff. And the Afrikaans singers, only the few, like Steve Hofmeyer, Blaise Bridges, Andre Schwartz, Rina Yugu, only a few of them, those who really sold huge in the 80s and 70s, survived the 90s. And then the backyard studios began. And you didn't really need talent anymore to make an album. There's programs like Autotuner and Melodyne, which fix your voice up to standard. Now, in the old days, it wasn't there. You had to be a good singer to make an LP, and you couldn't have printed an LP in your backyard. Everybody can print a CD in their backyard, and that's when Afrikaans music started boosting, because not all of the singers sounds on stage like they sound on CD.
Yeah.
And they will cover up with a lot of backing vocals and a lot of double voices. And normally they are good lookers. And yeah,
Well,
that's
no,
what
no, no.
that
I,
changed
I,
the
I get
music.
I get where you're going there, but and I'll give two examples of it. When I was a young man, I went to Kings Island, which is a theme park in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Quarter Flash was a band, a pop new wave sort of band that came out, and they had a big song, and it was awesome. And I went, I'm all excited because it was a free concert, and I went to watch them. I'm like, oh my gosh. They just couldn't sing. They couldn't sing. It was all studio. It was no talent. It was no. And of course, they were a flash in the pan. They disappeared after that one song. And then by contrast, I went to the Ohio State Fair, and Johnny Cash was singing, and I got to sit right next to the stage and listen to Johnny Cash. Oh my
Gosh.
gosh! I'm not a country music fan, but Johnny Cash was amazing, and his voice and he could perform. It just that was a singer. He was just awesome, awesome.
That's a thing like with Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis, sometimes he wasn't even close to the note,
Mm-hmm.
the correct note, but he was just an performer. He was an entertainer.
Yeah.
He wasn't the world's best singer.
No.
I technically
Yeah. No,
best singer.
being fair, being honest.
But
Yeah.
the whole package,
Yeah.
the look, his music, his whole stage thing made him the best singer of the decade of the previous.
Of the era.
Yeah, that's the correct one.
Yeah, of the era.
It doesn't mean he's the best singer technically, but what I also find, I don't know in overseas, but in South Africa, the guys that go for opera lessons and stuff, they are the guys that nobody's buy their CDs. They are musically too correct.
Yeah.
Which is a sad thing because those oaks got voices and they never off pitch. But I think the Afrikaners, I think they are too perfect. I think they must be a little bit. One of the producers, the biggest producers in South Africa, he had his own record label, Boot Pretorius, once told me, in your faults, you would be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pronounce it correct in English, but if you scoop a note, maybe
Mm-hmm.
the people will recognize that's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's musically, it's not correct,
But it's distinctive.
but that makes you special.
It's distinctive. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? There must be something.
Yeah, no.
That like Snot Cop is close to, he's 49 years old and he jumps up and down on a stage like a teenager.
Yeah.
And and he loves it, and the people loves it.
No, absolutely, and he's quite
That
entertaining.
makes him unique. That makes him totally unique.
Well, and the way he
I
twists.
tried that.
Oh no, they would walk off stage, wouldn't they? They'd walk off this. They'd walk right out the door. But no, but Snot Cup, when he does this, it's also cheeky. And I mean, the way he twists the lyrics and everything. I have to download the lyrics to his songs so I can understand what the hell he's saying. You know?
Yeah.
If
if I try to do what Snot Cop is doing, the people will get seasick.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. Yeah, and he's even as he gets older,
Yeah.
he's still hold it together.
He is. I mean, he's got these songs like "Rock from my Rustig." That's a hilarious song. The video is funny. And then, a few years older, they're delicious. The one where he's with the women in the.
Yeah, if you really know Afrikaans and Afrikaners and the Afrikaans tradition, you would know that some of his lyrics are a little bit not vulgar, but
they push the envelope quite far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been allowed in the 80s.
No. That's what I'm saying. Things like that never would have happened under apartheid.
No.
And so I think that's that removal of that sort of a state oppression on all cultures in South Africa is one of the contributing factors to why there's been explosion. What you've also said is that kind of people who are maybe not speaking of anybody we just talked about, but who are less talented can use the studio to their advantage. That plays a role. And also I think that what Jenny had to say is because there has been an effort to suppress Afrikaans, there's been a backlash and people turned Afrikaans. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. De La Rey from Boek van Blerk was probably so massive just because people were so hot full of all the BS.
Yes. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And we were only a few singers that stood up against the farm murders and stuff. Me and Steve Hofmeyer and Jeanette Bridges worked together, and you can't believe it was something. I never want to go through that again.
Yeah.
The organizations just cancel your shows, just stop because politics.
Cancel culture.
It's too big. You don't go there. So that's why I stopped. The people knows, my fans knows how I feel about stuff. My aunt was murdered on a farm. My cousin was murdered in his house, and my fans know how I feel about everything. I don't have to talk about it on every show.
Yeah.
But it's sad things turned out like it did.
I'll tell you one thing that I would really love to have seen. It would have been cool. I think it would have enhanced it. It was a brilliant song. I love it. The video is very, very compelling, but it would have been awesome to have you in this song, Die Land, with Steve Hofmeyer and with Bobby van Jaarsveld and all those guys. That would you as an additional voice in there. That with you in there, that it's already up here. But if Manie Jackson had been in that song, it would be up here. I'm just saying. It would be awesome. It would be awesome.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
It is an amazing song.
One day I think me and Steve Hofmeyer will do something together.
Well, that'd be awesome. Well, I'll reach out to Steve and tell him you should do something. See if he listens to me.
I've even asked him to do my version of the Onze Vader, the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Which we did on partly on the melody of Old Lang Syne. But he was busy at that stage show, so we couldn't do it on that time because the album had to be finished.
Sure.
But I think that would have been a huge thing, because every show I do, I end with that version of the Onze Vader, the Lord's Prayer, and the people are just going crazy. And I think Steve would have. It would have been amazing working with him on that song.
Well, his Pa and Son song is a beautiful one too. You know, about losing a child. That's an amazing song. Olaf gave a super chat here. He said, "Awesome stream and awesome guest." Thank you, Chris. Well, you're most welcome, Olaf. 140 rand super chat. Thank you so much for that. I do need to ask you before we go very quickly about a couple songs and videos, if you don't mind. Okay.
Okay.
Julia. I love the video.
Julia.
Okay, now you're dressed up to look like a dork, like an accountant, like you're just
a nerd. Yeah,
a nerd.
Helping the little boeremeissie.
Yes, yeah, but she doesn't look like such an innocent boeremeissie. I noticed that her belt line, there's a tattoo just below the jeans, so not such an innocent boeremeissie. But that was a cute. I mean, where does the song come from, and who came up with the idea for the video? Because the video is brilliant.
Julia is a German song. I think it's Andrea Berg singing the song. I can't remember now, of Bernard Brink. And Sarah Tron wrote the Afrikaans lyrics. She also wrote Jessica for Ray Dillon. So she wrote the Afrikaans lyrics, but the O from Bliksem Productions in South Africa, Andre Carlitz.
Okay.
He wrote the script for the music video, and we went to the Kalahari. To shoot it on a farm there, and we had so much fun. The girl was actually so nice. She was the makeup artist. She was the actress in the, and she was just fun to work with.
Yeah,
and we had a lot of fun doing that. I think the two music videos that I did that I had the most fun was Julia and the song Onthou My.
Okay, Onthou My.
Which is it's a song from. American country singer, Stay With Me. Can't remember what's her name now.
I don't know.
Lacey J. Dalton.
Oh, okay.
Lacey J. Dalton.
Yeah. No, but the Julia video is just brilliant. It's wonderful.
I love it.
It shows
had to
through.
act.
You did have to act.
They gave her. They put a straw in her bags, and my bags was the real bags. And it looks like she does it so easily, and then I get the heavy one. And I love hunting. Every now and then I go hunting, so I can shoot. I had to shoot miss on purpose.
Yeah.
And somebody shoot the cans for her because she couldn't
shoot.
couldn't shoot. And the whole thing is when she pulls the trigger,
yeah,
you will see that my body goes like this.
Uh-huh.
And I really, it's real. That's
genuine.
That wasn't acting.
It's genuine.
It's genuine.
Well,
it was really nice.
No, that's a great one. Nick Muller said that Kus Kumbus and the I don't know, the Vollfrei movement had a Vollfrei had a big, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And Snot Cop pays homage to him with his song Kus.
Yeah, but the one thing Kus Kumbus did, they were against the apartheid thing, and they got into a rebellion, but he just released a song a few years ago where he's in a rebellion of the ANC government.
Yeah, it's flipped around now.
Singing about no electricity, and so what do you actually want? Actually everybody knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
If the ANC took over the country,
but hope for the better.
We knew
it didn't work out that way. Yeah.
No.
So the other one I want to ask you about here, and this is my favorite song of yours, and that's Noch Net and Kia. That video is, to me, very powerful. And I like the lady the way it runs around, and it just really
I never
flows.
Met that lady.
They filmed all that without
I never
you.
met. Yeah, no, they filmed it. I only did the filming in the
studio
garage thing with the band. Yeah. And it's a nice song. It was written by Rudy Klaassen.
Oh, okay.
Great songwriter, right there. Yeah, he wrote about I think 3 songs for me.
Okay. Now that's a brilliant one. And there's one thing this is kind of heartwarming, I think. So if it's not, let me know. We'll move on. But you did a video when you were, I don't know if it was after a show or at a braai. It looks like you were at a braai. And there was this smaller person who it was which was the Hemelvet you and it sang with you on your shoulders. What was that all about? I've seen that video.
It was on a show. He loves me to bits. He was born with a bone marrow illness. Mm-hmm. The doctors gave him 12 years to live. Mm-hmm. He wasn't developed. His body wasn't developed correctly. He only had 4 fingers. Mm-hmm. His heart was too big. He only had 1 kidney, and he was deaf.
Oh wow!
That thing on his head, this thing on his head, which brings out the main sound. So when he sings, he only hears his own vocal. He can't hear the backtrack. Mm-hmm. Somebody was sitting in front going like that, showing him he must now start singing. And I just loved that boy like he was my own. Mm-hmm. And he passed away the 13th of December 2019. Mm-hmm. His last show he did with me on the 30th of November. And the next day, I went to his house and we ate cake and stuff, and he gave me 5 little baby chickens, and those babies are laying eggs now. I had to go and buy a cage for them.
A coop.
And he passed away. He was 11 years and 4 months old.
Ah, shame. It's a very.
But he was 7 times in hospital in 2019.
Ah, it's a shame.
And his body was getting worn out.
Yeah. No, that was very touching. When people talk about people started on the chat saying, "I heard that Manie Jackson's quite a nice guy." I mean, that's a very touching video to watch him sing with you, and it's actually very entertaining. The two of you singing together, it's quite good actually. Yeah, he did well.
And the fact the fact that he was deaf,
yes,
that was the whole thing. He was 6 years old when he decided he wanted to sing, mm-hmm. and he went for singing lessons, mm-hmm. and his teacher went to every show showing him when to start singing, and he was just determined to make his dream come true. And then he wanted to do a duet with me. So I recorded a duet with him. He's on one of my CDs, and we did a music video as well. And we sent it to CakeNet, and they declined the video, said it was too sentimental.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the Afrikaner. So he said his biggest dream is to be on a stage like Krone.
Mm-hmm.
So October 2019, 2 months before his death, we did a Bakgat show in the same auditorium. Me and Dirk van der Westhuizen, Nadine, Robbie Wessels was there, mm-hmm. John Boucher, and I called him on stage, and he sang the Helemaal Weet with me on the same stage as Krone. So I tried to make all his dreams come true. I miss him very, very much.
That's awesome. I think it speaks volumes about your character. It really does. Listen, Manie, I reached out to you and you responded pretty quickly. I don't know if it's just out of curiosity. What's this? An American who knows my music, or
you know what? I want to tell the American about South African music.
Yeah. So do I. We'll do it together.
Yeah, it's just there was so much, especially the older music, mm-hmm. that wasn't promoted. Like Blaze Bridges was South Africa's biggest selling Afrikaans selling artist. Mm-hmm. He did a duet with Audrey Landis.
Yeah. And
she came to South Africa and she heard one of his songs, I'm the Eagle, You're the Wings. And she phoned his manager and said, I want to record with that oak. And that thing was released. But at that time, he went through a third party in his marriage. So the public didn't like it. It was a no-go. So he took a little bit of a dip at the time that the duet of him and Audrey Landis were released. Mm-hmm. And that should have been stuff which had to go international. Mm-hmm. And that's why I send you a lot of that kind of music.
No, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It's amazing stuff.
There was life before Snotkop in the music business.
Yes, it was Kurt Darren. Kurt Darren. Kalfitsoki.
I love Kurt's way of dancing. Hey, that's just something he did. Everybody talks about it.
It's definitely his trademark. Definitely his trademark.
That's the whole thing. Getting your own trademark.
Your own distinct. For me, with you, it's the hair. It's the hair, man.
If my hair isn't standing straight up now because it was very. It's raining, so it's very
humid. Very humid.
Yes.
Feucht.
So I was sweating a lot, yeah. But if I go on stage, the people, and sometimes I forget, or there's no backstage that I can put in that straightener thing and get the hair like that. Mm-hmm. Then the people will ask me, "Where's your hairstyle today?"
Well, it can't always be like that. But there's two things here. So number one, now I can't attest to this, but I've been told, since you mentioned you'd had an ex-wife, that when your current wife is present, you don't say ex-wife. You're supposed to say practice wife. That way it shows that you're So that was your practice wife. So when your current wife is around, that was your practice wife. Okay. So
I had more than one of those. Yeah.
Okay. Well, practice wives. Then we'll leave it at that, Manie. Okay.
Yeah. I've married for the third time, and it's third time lucky.
Third time's a charm. That's what they say. Third time's a charm. So there you go. There you go. But so I suspect that your current wife is going to have me moored or give me a PK because I've kept you for almost 2 hours. She's probably wondering where you're at.
She just blew me a kiss.
So she's fine with that. So she's good. Okay. Well, I don't want to get in trouble there because then we won't get you back on the channel. Like, you are not going back on the Oaks channel. He kept you for 2 hours.
The whole thing is, hey, we've got nothing else to do.
Well, that's the thing. Lockdown.
It's a Saturday night. I should have been on stage today.
Exactly. People say to me, they're like, well, first off, because I'm retired from active service in the military, they're like, oh, you have all this time in your hands because you're retired. Yes and no, because I work 7 days a week, 12 to 16 hours a day, doing this and writing and researching and doing consultant work. But there's nothing else to do. I can't go to a rugby match. I can't go to a basketball game. I can't go to hockey. I can't even watch it because they're canceling it over this COVID nonsense. You can't travel. I mean, this is the longest in my entire adult life, Manie, since the age of 18, that I have not been overseas. I have not gone anywhere since I returned from the Rugby World Cup in Japan in October of 2019. That's a year and a half.
And my wife, I'm not. I'm a Lion supporter in South Africa.
I'm so sorry. That's tragic to hear.
Well, I can't be a Blue Bull because my mother isn't a cow.
I got it. I'm not laughing.
A Blue Bull's mother must be a cow.
Well, that's
That's common sense, eh?
Listen, I'm wearing a Bulls jersey, but I'm not a Bulls fan. I'm a Province fan, so it's just up
Now,
front.
Province, my mother. Now, I love all rugby teams, but it's just nice to make jokes about the Blue Bulls because they are very touchy. But my wife is a qualified IRB level 3 provincial rugby coach.
Are you serious?
Yes, and she qualified under the Blue Bulls.
Well, I will
It's
ask.
the only union that wanted to give a lady a chance.
Right. Okay. I have a segment on my program called Rugby Ascendant because rugby is one of my huge things.
Okay.
So I've been to every Rugby World Cup since 2011. New Zealand in 2011, 2015 or 2014. Excuse me. 2014 in Ireland for the women. No, 2011 New Zealand, 2014 Paris for the women, 2015 England, 17 matches, including South Africa, Japan. 2017 in Ireland for the women, 2018 in San Francisco for the sevens, and 2019 in Japan. 6 Rugby World Cups in 8 years. I'm a massive fan. So I'll extend this offer to your wife. If she's interested, if she'd be willing to come on to do an interview, it won't be 2 hours, won't do 2 hours, but be willing to do an interview.
She will definitely.
To talk about rugby, especially women's rugby. Because I tell people about rugby, about women's rugby.
She
we don't play rugby in South Africa. Women don't play. Nonsense.
Yeah, she said she doesn't want to do the women rugby teams.
Yep.
She did the Sasolburg Rugby Club.
Okay, well that's
the
perfect.
under 21s, and because the provincial Oaks that won't give her a chance because she's a girl, she's a lady. But she took on the under 21s Sasolburg Rugby Club, and they won 3 times in a row with her as coach.
All right, I want to interview her.
It was her 37th birthday yesterday, and I bought her 2 sets of earrings, and she cried when she opened a gift of a book and DVD set of the World Cup rugby since 1991 till 2015. It's book and a DVD set.
I heard her in the background.
Yeah, she said sorry.
No.
She will definitely do that. She loves rugby, and I'm not that into rugby, so she doesn't have somebody to talk to.
All right, it is settled. We don't want Manie Jackson back on the channel. We want to talk to his wife.
I will talk music to you, and she can talk rugby to you.
Absolutely.
And I don't argue with her.
Well, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But I mean, look, it's honestly, Manie, you really, were you bounced on your head a lot as a child or something? A Lions supporter? Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
I was born in Pretoria, but then I grew up in KwaZulu-Natal, Pietermaritzburg, and there my teacher was Mr. Johan Breed.
Mm-hmm.
And his cousin was the rugby. It was those days the Transvaal rugby captain for the Transvaal, the Lions, Jannie Breed. And so I liked the teacher, so I started supporting Transvaal.
Okay.
Which became the Lions.
Of course.
Yes. And with all the losses of the Lions, I'm still a liar.
Well, I'm honest.
My mother is a VP, Stormer supporter, and my father was a Blue Bull, and my brother that passed away was also a Blue Bull, and the other brother is in Australia. He's a Lions supporter, and the other two brothers are Sharks.
Oh, well, you got a wide mix there.
Yeah, all the provinces.
But I've been a province VP and Stormers fan forever. I've always, I mean, I'll pull for other teams, but I was really disappointed in this weird Curry Cup that the province got beat by the Sharks at Newlands. This last game at Newlands, and they couldn't even pull it off. It was really disappointing, but the Bulls won it.
Yeah, I like the VP. It's my second team.
There you go. So another super chat. I get this really quickly. Renault Gans said, Manie has a brilliant heart for people. Thank you for having him on the show, Chris. Well, it's my pleasure, and my thanks for Manie for coming on. But we don't want to talk to Manie anymore. We got to talk to his wife now. So no.
Yeah. And she's something to look at as well.
Oh,
so the men can tune in. The beauty of her, she was a model. That's the whole thing. She's a mechanical engineer.
Wow.
Working in an overall. She was a model.
Wow.
And then she's a professional rugby coach.
Wow.
And then she's a lupus. She got lupus. Mm-hmm. She's a spokesperson for lupus. And then she also has trigeminal neuralgia, meaning the nerve to the brain was damaged. And she's now a pensioner.
But she's incredible.
That's why I'm so poor, because I'm married to a pensioner. I'm jobless, and my wife is a pensioner.
You're jobless. Well, unfortunately, you're in good company being jobless in South Africa with the lockdown. My goodness. Oof. Jeez.
Yeah, she's a stunning lady. Everything she did with all of her heart.
Chad
being in an overall, being on runway, being behind a whistle on the rugby field, being behind a mic, talking about lupus and inspiring people.
So Chad says she sounds like she knows how to use a screw properly. In other words, she knows how to get things done. That's well said. Beth Fraser said, I made my husband watch rugby once. He thought it was a big fight.
I said, just give everybody a ball. Nothing to fight about. Just give everybody a ball.
Now, here's a question. This is from the audience. I got to ask this one because I don't know what this is about. And so Chad Blingnote says, ask Manie if he's heard Chris Blingnote singing.
Chris Blingnote.
Yeah.
He is the father of Afrikaans music. He was the first Afrikaner to record. He started singing in 1916.
Wow.
When he was 18 years old. In the First World War, he went to London and performed there in English, actually, under English name. I think, if I remember correctly, his name was Robert Welsh.
Okay. Cool.
And then in 1926, he started recording in Afrikaans. His son was a dentist in Vereniging where I live, and he, Chris Blingnote did so he did Jan die Willie van die Bosveld, Jan. Yeah, he's a big legend. I met his granddaughter.
Okay.
And she told me a lot about her grandfather. Mm-hmm. She still lives in Vereniging as well.
That's pretty cool. Shack Dweller said that when he was a kid, he sang with Cora Marie, Anton Meiberg's mom, along with Ken Mullen. And like 29 years ago, before she died of cancer, said that Cora Marie was a nice lady. I'm not familiar with Cora Marie.
Yes, and I've got Cora Marie was the first lady, and there's a lot of fights about it, but she was the first one to start actually singing Afrikaans country music. Okay. The music was Afrikaans, but the recording was totally country with fiddles and steel guitar and everything. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of her golden discs in my house, and about 40 of her concert outfits. Her husband stayed with me just before he passed away for a while, and then he wanted to go to Cape Town to his other son, and so I bought the stuff from him so that he can go to Cape Town. And one of most of her shirts were the one that I'm wearing now is also from Nashville. Most of her stuff was from Nashville, and I even got a jacket from her between her clothes. Loretta Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
It's Loretta Lynn country wear.
Okay.
And when Dolly Parton came to South Africa in 1983, she was Dolly Parton's hostess in South Africa. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I've got a photograph of her and Dolly Parton together.
So Cora Marie
I'll send you.
Okay.
I will send you songs of her. She did 2 or 3 songs in English, but she had a very strong Afrikaans accent on those songs. So that's why she loved country music, and she couldn't do it in English, so she did it in Afrikaans.
It's brilliant, though. It's brilliant. But Cora Marie is, I think, before my time when it comes to that sort of thing.
She passed away in 1994.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that more for me.
She was 41 years old.
Wow, that's way too young. That's
cancer. Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Shakdor said she died from cancer. No, for me, when I think of women in country music and Afrikaans, I immediately think of someone rocking up from Namibia, Juanita du Plessis. So that's always yeah. So that comes to mind.
Cora Marie and Cupido was her singing partner. He wrote the song Was Ek Maar 'n Digter, which is a huge, and they started singing together as well. Now, Cupido passed away in 2017 at age 62.
Wow!
And his brother, his youngest brother, is the country singer Alan Ladd, and he's quite. Yeah, he's sold a lot as well.
Chris Redlings always says he met Cora Marie when he was in first grade. He has her autograph, and she told him that he had nice eyes. That was very sweet. That's very sweet.
The whole thing, Cora Marie also had a gimmick. She used to have curly hair, and she said the shows are just too much to every time do her hair. So she permed her hair like a cushy. Like very, very curly, and she said she never had to comb her hair again. So that was her thing. Was that they called her bossy cop. That very, very close to African hair, the curls.
Yeah, like the bus, like the busman.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was her thing. That the bossy cop. And then she had this huge song, Giare Roos. They named a rose after her.
Okay.
And Cora Marie Rose, there's a Blaise Bridges Rose, and there's a Manie Jackson Rose as well.
I'd heard rumor that there was a Manie Jackson Rose. Maybe you talk about that on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I will tell the people about that. It's a rose with no thorns because of the song I've done. My mother plays in the music video. Dorings vir Ma, Ludwig Roses made a rose, named a rose after me with no thorns on it.
It's brilliant. Well, listen, Manie, it's gosh, I hate to end, but I mean, because I don't want to end, but listen, this has been unbelievable thus far. Not only have we had an amazing conversation about your background in music, your recording history, your professional career, the fact that I'm going to be able to book you for a concert for only 1,000 Rand. That was important to discover.
I wish you would say $1,000.
Well, it's going to take a lot more super chats before I can fund that, but we'll work on that. Remember, this wasn't a for-profit channel, but anyway, so we'll work on that. But not only amazing conversation about that, but it's awesome for people to listen and learn more about you as a person, kind of the heartwarming things about who you are and what you care about. And all that's fantastic. But let's see, we've got, you're going to link me up with Liesl Peters. So that's going to happen. I'm going to stream your Valentine's Day concert, which is going to be awesome. And I'm going to get you back.
And I'm going to put your link on my Facebook so that my fans can watch this as well.
Well, you got 100,000. It'd be awesome to see a bunch of those 100,000 come this way. That'd be great for my channel.
Yeah.
So all of that's fantastic. You're going to come back on the channel. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Because we haven't even talked about the stuff behind you on your wall, which is amazing. And don't start because we'll be there for 45 minutes. But we haven't talked about that. We haven't talked about so many other things about your interest in music. I mean, you are one of the experts when it comes to music. Period. Not just
since I was a little boy. I just the other boys wanted to play outside. I want to be in front of the hi-fi. We had a Marantz hi-fi.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite expensive hi-fi, and I just wanted to listen to music, and I was singing with the music. I never had any singing lessons in my life,
Mm-hmm.
so everything I know, I taught myself, or the working with the legends for 20 years. They taught me, and I live for music.
Yeah, no doubt. It
I've
shows.
never thought there's a day, there will be a day when music stopped, and 2020 was that day. I
No,
never thought
no, it's the day
that
that
day.
it's the day the music died.
Yes,
The
and
CCR.
2021
Yeah.
in South Africa, uh, music closed down. So
Mm.
really, you can't perform live, you can't sell your CDs in store. So it's a very difficult time, and I never thought of a world without music.
Well,
Can't
we've
be.
got to overcome this. I have absolutely no musical talent whatsoever. I can't hold a note or a key, but I love music. But we've got to overcome this nonsense. But you,
I've got a full hi-fi with a tape deck, with a CD players, with a gramophone. And you can play 78s as well. So I can listen to any kind of music. I even have I've got a LP of Jimmy Reeves that was and Slim
ah,
Whitman that was
ah,
recorded on 16 and a half speed,
wow.
and I've got a player that can play that as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Chad Blingnote said that Chris, not interested in any concert unless there is a special guest appearance of the legendary Chris Wyatt. Well, I can introduce the artist and I can go up and interview them on stage. But if you expect me to sing, Chad, that's gonna scare away even Rhodesian Ridgebacks run when I sing. So that's pretty sad. But
Auto-tuner,
oh yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We could auto
you
tune.
can
That's
do
right.
that.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sing with an auto tune. I'll sing with these artists in auto tune. But listen, we've covered all that. But not only that, we've discovered that you're not even the most impressive person in the family. I mean, your wife is a mechanical engineer, a rugby coach, a model, a spokesman for lupus. I mean, listen, you're just a piker there. You're just a farm boy
Yeah,
compared to her
and you know
accomplishments.
what? I could have had a made her in 2006.
Mhm.
Then in 2010, then in 2012, then in 2014, and I never wanted her. She was so pretty. I thought this girl is out of my league.
Mm,
At the age of 40, I married her.
wow. Well, she must have
Yeah.
had a weak moment, Manie. We'll just leave it at
And she
that.
was never married before. I
Wow.
never had a boyfriend. She still lived with her mother and her father until I took
Wow.
her out.
Wow.
So
Wow.
she lived for rugby and her work and
Well,
modeling.
she lives for rugby. That's enough. You had me at that. That was it. I'm in. I'm in. So we're gonna have to get her on the channel. But fantastic.
We will.
Now, a couple things very quick before we close out. There was Johan Eisel said. I don't know if you know, but Johan is involved with this new Afrikaans language television network called Cake Tate, and he said we must produce that concert on Cake Tate. So we'll have to take a look at that. And then Hank Klupper saying something about a fundraiser for Manie. Well, Hank, he's doing a Valentine's Day concert and he's accepting donations. Go to his Facebook channel, which is in the description below the video. Also, I'll be live streaming that concert here, and we'll have the details up. So if you want to donate to Manie and help, you'll be able to do it there. So excellent,
She
Manie.
just kicked the camera stand, eh?
Yeah, no, I saw a drink come too. I don't know if that was a warning. Time is up.
As water.
Yeah,
As water.
okay. No, I drink on camera too, but not alcohol. People are always asking if I'm drinking alcohol. I guess with all the politics going around the world, you almost have to have alcohol to get through the day. But
Well, if I drink alcohol, we're gonna talk music the whole night.
well, listen. If that's a challenge, we've got a lot of work to do because this is 2 hours on this stream. But I have had a 4 hour and 38 minute stream with Giselle and Johan talking about music. So, so,
And they were sober.
oh yeah, no.
Uh,
And Giselle had to keep getting up and leaving because her little one was, fussing, and so she had to go check
shame,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, my daughter has gone with a mother, and I've just got 6 dogs.
mm,
Uh, that's all we have.
Awesome. But happy birthday to your
Good
daughter
stuff.
once again. Today's her birthday. So happy birthday to Manie
Yeah.
Jackson's daughter. That's awesome. And thank you and your very patient and accomplished wife for this incredible conversation, which I almost sound like I'm trying to get rid of you, but I'm not. I want to wrap up.
Well, believe me, when she starts to talk rugby,
Yeah.
it will be an hour and a half as well.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I could talk rugby all day long, and she'll be in good company. I've had Floxilius on here. I've had Andre Sneeman on the channel. I've had Donald
She
Stanford.
did her analyzing thing under Rassi Erasmus.
Oh, okay, under Rossi. Okay,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that'd be great.
So
She can
yeah,
give us some insights into Rossi. That'd be awesome.
from a lady's side point of view, a lady's point of view.
Well, absolutely. There you go. All right, Manie Jackson. Thank you. Bye bye, donkey. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much for you as well, and thank you for supporting Afrikaans music. I was so surprised. So thank you very, very much.
No, it's my pleasure. We'll have you back on the channel, but we're going to get the Valentine's Day concert coming up and get your wife on sometime soon, too, is when she's available.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, Manie Jackson, can we get a little applause in the chat there, a little thumbs up or something? We've hit the threshold for the likes that I was hoping for. We've got that. We've had a good audience. Thanks for the super chats for the concert.
I've got
fund.
my thumb up.
Oh, he's got his
I've
thumb
got
up.
my
There
thumb.
you go. All right, here they come. The thumbs are coming up. Plus, beer mugs are coming up as well. I didn't ask for alcohol, but if you guys want to put alcohol mugs in there, that's fine.
It's a beer mug, so full of water. So
No, but in the chat, people are putting up. They're putting up beer mugs. Okay. All right, that's it. I'm going to put you in the waiting room and ask you to leave. I don't think you're familiar with the software, so I'm going to put you in the waiting room on my own. Any last comments or thoughts before you go, Manie, that you'd like to share with the audience?
I just want to thank everyone who supports music worldwide, and especially guys from other countries like you supporting Afrikaans music, because the Afrikaans music industry is such a small industry. Back in the days, the apartheid years, gold was 25,000 units. And then in the 90s, they changed it to 20,000 units. And now it's 15,000 units. So small is the music industry in South Africa that if you sell 15,000 units, you get a golden record. I was in the era of the 20,000s. All the singer was in the 25,000 era. So thank you for you guys supporting small little country on the south point of the African continent.
Excellent. Well, Manie Jackson, bye-bye, donkey. Thank you very much. This has been an incredible stream. We'll get you back on here soon. Folks, thanks for your support. Manie, you and your wife have a lovely day. And again, happy birthday to your daughter. I'm sure I hope she had a good birthday. All right, that's it. That's it, folks. Manie Jackson. I'm gonna put him in the waiting room, and that way I can go ahead and wrap up the stream. Okay, there we go. Right up. Got to fix the screen here real quick. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a distinct pleasure. One that's been in the making for a couple of months now. What a nice oak. What a brilliant person there, Manie Jackson. It is really awesome to meet him on the channel here and bring him to you. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It was fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back on for Night Owls in about an hour and 20 minutes. We'll do Night Owls, a short version tonight. Thanks for the support, and looking forward to that Valentine's Day concert, and really looking forward to talking to Manie's wife. That's going to be fantastic. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. God bless and have a good evening, and we'll catch you back here for the Night Owls edition very shortly. Take care of yourselves.